The man accused of killing and even crucifying a New River Christian pastor attempted to plead guilty to his murder today. Welcome to 12 Minutes at 5. I'm Troy Hayden.
And I'm Cuddy Devine. The man accused, Adam Schief, is asking to be put to death quickly for the crime.
12 News journalist Sean Rice is here with more on this. I mean, just an awful, awful crime, Sean, let's be honest, and a very bizarre court hearing today.
Yeah, no defense offered, and he wants to be put to death as soon as possible. Very weird hearing this morning. It's not every day we see a man accused of murder facing the death penalty admit to everything in open court, and then even ask to be executed as soon as possible. Adam Schief claims he has no mental health problems that would inhibit his ability to know what he did and face the consequences for it.
If there's at least one aggravating factor and no mitigating factors, a guilty defendant is to be sentenced to death. So sentence me.
Adam Schief is not a fan of having to keep showing back up to a courtroom. 10 months after he crucified New River pastor Bill Shoneman, he says there was no dispute over what he did.
I gave a full confession to the FBI. I did 4 interviews with 4 separate media outlets. From day one, I've said I did this. These are the reasons why I did this. And I'm not contesting anything.
Pastor Bill was found dead inside his home last April. He led the New River Bible Church for decades. Adam Schief admits to traveling from California here to Arizona with plans to kill religious leaders all across our state. In a jailhouse interview with 12 News, he says he killed Bill inside his home and crucified him to his bedroom wall, placing a crown of thorns on top of his head.
It is my intent to plead no contest to all charges.
Schief tried to plead no contest, allowing sentencing to happen without a formal admission of guilt. When the prosecution objected,
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll plead guilty to all charges. And we're dragging this out in the interest of justice. What about the victims' families? What about me? What about my family? We want closure so we can move on with our lives. You know, what I did was for naught because nobody could hear a word I'm saying. I don't have any mental health issues.
Valley defense attorney Josh Colesrud calls it a surprise that Schief is adamant about being put to death.
Typically in a death penalty case, you see defendants literally fight for their lives. Here you saw the opposite.
He says the death penalty phase of a murder case is not a quick one, predicting Schief won't face death for quite some time.
If we assume that he's given the death penalty and that it's affirmed and agreed upon by the Arizona Supreme Court, I think that he could be probably put to death within the next couple of years.
There was also an automatic appeal entered even after someone is sentenced to death by either a judge or a jury. Adam Schief will be back in court next month. This morning, the judge did not accept his guilty plea. She said that she wants to ensure at his next hearing that it is entirely voluntary.
Yeah, Sean, I mean, I'm sure this judge has seen a lot, but his testimony today was pretty shocking.
I had never heard something like this before, and he had admitted in previous media interviews intricate details about the crime, just horrible, awful details that you never want to hear somebody going through. And so it didn't come as a necessary surprise that he did this in open court because he's done it in media interviews. But to hear it in this way is something I've never heard from a defendant in open court.
And it sounds like he wants to be in charge. He's no longer in charge. He doesn't get to call the shots what happens going forward. I mean, even if he does plead guilty.
Troy, you mentioned narcissism. I think he has all the traits of a narcissist if you're doing this in open court.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sean, thank you for that.